Now to another hometown hero chasing a Commonwealth title. Chris Edwards, Stoke's former British and Commonwealth champion, loves to overwhelm opponents with his red-hot pace and non-stop attacks. Lost his British title, of course, to Shinny Bayar. Takes on Abmerk Shindjuu from Namibia. Turned pro in 2007. Is a former national champion. Has only 2 defeats on the slate.
So another rebuilding exercise in process for the little Stoke fireball. Chris Edwards, who's had a fascinating up-and-down career. A former 2-weight domestic champion aiming to regain the Commonwealth Flyweight title here against a mystery Namibian, Abmerk Shindjuu. Edwards coming off that close defeat to Shinny Bayar, where he lost his British 8-stone belt and was stripped of the Commonwealth title, so he'll be keen to get hold of it again, and always makes a lively start, Jim.
Yeah, he's always in tremendous shape. He knows he can do the 12 rounds at a non-stop pace. Not everybody can live with him. Shindjuu just, I think, been forced to start a little bit quicker than he had in mind, but he's answered with some nice right hands. But Edwards the one setting the pace as we would have expected.
Got long arms, Shindjuu, who's 34, Edwards 33. Far more experienced, the pocket battleship from the Potteries. Good support here, as always. Lives in Fenton, and it's about a 5-minute walk from his front door to the sports centre here.
The greatest balance, certainly in the early stages, Shindjuu. So Ed was able to push him off balance and get some punches off at the same time. But they look fairly meaty shots, the one Shindjuu's coming back with. Looks as though he can punch better than his record suggests.
2 knockouts in his 7 wins, but engaging here. Not afraid to stand with Edwards, who's not the biggest puncher himself, but it's his work rate and drive and desire. Nice little right hand from Chris Edwards.
Yeah, good head movement from him too as he's coming forward. Shindjuu certainly not overawed. He's stood his ground, come back with some decent looking punches, but he's been outworked at the moment.
Sharp shots from Shindjuu, but backed up in his own corner. Came out with a nice left hook. It's good action in this first. Driving those rights home, Chris Edwards. Just needs to be wary of the countering left.
But this is a good start from Edwards. He has taken a few on the way in, but he's used to that.
Okay, nice start.
Beautiful, yeah. Good boy. Come in.
Lyndon Newbon leading the corner. They're a pretty tight group here in Stoke. Michael Vaughan.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, excellent. Good work.
Scott Lawton would be involved, but he's got other business tonight.
Yeah. Get your hands back to your chin after every punch you throw.
Yeah, some clever looking punches there from Shindjuu. As I was saying, he seems to punch a little bit harder than his record suggests. He was just outworked. I think maybe he fancied boxing himself into this, just taking his time. But Edwards doesn't allow that. Just non-stop action, non-stop punching. So a good start for Chris Edwards.
Corners 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 2.
31st fight for Chris Edwards. He's in the red and black trunks. Better change, normally black and silver for the Stoke man, but needs to freshen up his career, even at the age of 33. In with Abmerk Shindjuu from Namibia. He's come a long way, and he's come to win, that's obvious, Jim.
Yep, he's always trying to come back with punches. He's not looking to hold or to duck and to dive and cover up. Every attack, he's trying to get some counters off. So I think he realises boxing away from home, you really have to perform.
He never fought out of Africa, and it's always difficult, these sketchy records. Chris Edwards was having real trouble finding information out about him. Nice right hand from Shindjuu. He's finding Edwards with one or two of these.
Edwards needs to improve the accuracy a little bit. He outworked Shindjuu in the opening round, but accuracy not quite what it should be.
Just likes to get on top of opponents and wear them out. Edwards admits he's not a great boxer. He's actually lost more than he's won. 14 defeats to 13 victories. Incredible how he's done so well, though, and taken the title shots when they've come.
This is better from Edwards now. Yep, finding the target now with the punch. He's just staying on Shindjuu, not giving him a moment's respite.
Gritty, honest battler, Chris Edwards, and that's why he's got plenty of support.
Edwards likes it close. I think Shindjuu prefers a little bit more room to get his punches off. He throws them a little bit longer. So Edwards keeping nice and close there.
Hurling in the hooks, though, Shindjuu, but being outworked by Edwards. What Shinny Bayar did to beat Edwards was, you know, he took a step back and he managed then to back up the Stoke man, didn't he, with crisp, clean work. Yeah,
the right way is to try to make Edwards miss, not to stand and exchange punches with him. You have to try to cause him to miss and counter. This one started well, plenty of action as usual in a Chris Edwards fight.
Right hand from Shindjuu. Quite quick for a 34-year-old. We don't know about his stamina, his heart. Kind of lost that one, Shindjuu, but here's the third round. Chris Edwards looking for win number 14. He lost 6 of his first 7 as a pro. It's a real-life rocky story, this, of Chris Edwards. Turned his career around from journeyman to champion, and he wants to be a champion again.
Shindjuu trying to find himself a little bit of room now. That's what he prefers. He likes room to work, whereas Edwards wants to get right on his case, right up close.
Nifty, though, throws a good right hand. Shindjuu. How much steel has he got? Resistance. That's what you need against Edwards.
Yeah, well, early impressions, I mean, he seems gritty enough. Everything that's thrown at him, he tries to come back with something. He doesn't hide or clinch. So I'd imagine he's been brought up in a fairly rough school.
For a windhook in Namibia. He might have seen more tapes of Chris Edwards than Chris Edwards has seen of him. Edwards not the biggest puncher with only 4 knockouts.
Some nice defensive boxing there from Edwards, though, making Shindjuu miss, and then taking the initiative again.
They're not so accurate, Shindjuu. The other thing you need against Edwards is a punch, isn't it, to steady him.
Yeah, you've got to discourage the onslaught. You can't just allow him to swarm all over you, so you want to be snapping him in his tracks with a jab, good solid right hand punches. But Shindjuu missing a lot in this round, and that's full credit to Edwards with the head movement and just the pace he's setting. I think Shindjuu just lost his way a little bit in this round at the moment.
Struggling to cope with the work rate, the persistence of Edwards. And we know he can do this for round after round. He's been the championship distance on 5 occasions, and Shindjuu never. He could just sicken him, that's possible.
Yeah, he could break his heart. There are no signs of that yet. Shindjuu still trying to come back with counters. A bit more success as the round's wearing on. But another round where he's been really outworked and just can't find the time to get his own work off.
Tries the uppercut and right hand. There's obviously skills there in Shindjuu's locker. Only lost 2 of his 11. Good left hook from Edwards. Right back from Shindjuu.
Yeah, again, he looks as though he carries a fair bit of meat, but another round for Edwards.
Don't let him be first, ever. Get your shot.
Second round, round 4.
Here's the 4th round. Chris Edwards, whose passions in life are for the world of motorcycles, boxing and tattoos. I think he's had a few more since we've last seen him. Doesn't mind a bit of pain, Edwards.
Yeah, well, I've never seen him worrying about pain in the ring, so I don't suppose those tattoos will give him any trouble whatsoever. Again, picking up the pace right from the opening, right from the bell. Just keep this little fellow occupied. Don't give him the space. Nice body shot there from Edwards.
Inspired into the sport by the Rocky films. Chris Edwards, sort of I will not be denied attitude.
Maybe a little bit higher quality of punch from Edwards would be appreciated. They're just little arm shots, he was pushing them out there. That's a bit better, get a bit more leverage.
But we know what we get with Edwards. What can Shindjuu do to change the pattern? A couple of right hands. He can box, he's not one of these terrible guys that come over and fall over. He's obviously got some belief and confidence and talent.
Yeah, and he's tried to lead off in this round. I wonder if his corner have told him that, maybe tried to go towards Edwards, meet him out in the centre of the ring if possible. But easier said than done. Edwards' accuracy not too impressive in this round so far, walking onto the jab from Shindjuu there.
Blood from the nose of Chris Edwards, who caught up with Wayne Bloy at the end of the 4th last year when he was on a real roll.
Shindjuu finding a bit of room now to get his punches off. Edwards has been at arm's length a little bit longer than he likes in this round.
And the right hand again from Shindjuu. It's the speed. It's troubling Edwards on the counter. Like that. Good work from Shindjuu.
I just think Edwards needs a bit more quality in his own punches. Just don't think about volume, don't think about non-stop, just think about putting a little bit more spite into the shots. He's been pushed back here. Shindjuu finding a lot more room to get his punches off now. Right hand from Shindjuu. Edwards just in the spot of bother here, being hit too easily. And Shindjuu beginning to drive Edwards back, and that's what he needs to do. Slightly worrying moments for the home fighter here in Stoke. I think Shindjuu's been sent out to and told to take the initiative a little bit more, and he's tried to do that. This is a much better round from him. Edwards finishing the round well, but I thought Shindjuu won that one. Good effort there from Abmerk Shindjuu.
How you feel? Right? Give me the basket. Give me the basket. You're done. They're done. That guy's stand.
Well, some quality there, wasn't there?
Yeah, well, he always threw decent punches. He just couldn't seem to find the room to get them off properly, but he found himself some room in the 4th round, and Edwards was walking onto some shots, so he found a little bit more space, a little bit more time in that round, and he was a lot more effective. I just feel Edwards has to put a bit more quality, a bit more substance in his own punches. It's not just a case of pushing the gloves out non-stop, but you can see the stats still favour Edwards.
He's almost thrown 500 punches, over 100 a round. Chris Edwards landed 103. The work rate with Chris Edwards, the buzzsaw from Stoke, who only stands at 5'3". And puts so much effort, commitment and drive into his fights. But there was some success from the Namibian in the last round.
See, that's good. A little bit of head movement, you know, movement from the waist as he moves forward there, Edwards. Much better. Yeah, tried to get inside the jab. Putting more thought into it now, I think.
12th outing for Abmerk Shindjuu. 31st for Chris Edwards, who turned pro 12 years ago. I suppose at some time the wheels are going to fall off Edwards. He's had ups and downs. Can't go on forever with this sort of style.
No, and eventually you're going to meet someone with a little bit of quality. And you need that quality as you move up the levels, but he's done so well. But again, he's been effective. It's close. His punching's a little bit better, more quality in them here. And he's really keeping Shindjuu occupied at the moment, denying him any room. Good head movement again there. This is better from Edwards.
Edwards still convinced he's the leading flyweight in the country. Believes he beat Shinny Bayar in the last one. We didn't. We thought Bayar did enough. There's some youngsters coming through like Paul Edwards and Ashley Sexton, who's ringside on a spying mission. Good right hand from Shindjuu. I just think he's being caught more tonight, Jim, Edwards.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's been good in this round. He got off to a good start, set a good pace, kept Shindjuu occupied, certainly for the first couple of minutes, but Shindjuu now coming back at him. You just wonder how long Edwards can keep the enthusiasm and the, you know, just keep the engine going. I mean, every fight is a punishing fight for him.
And often a long one too. Was taken out fairly quickly when he moved up in class, took a job out in Italy. Lost to Andrea Saritsu, no disgrace there. Needs to win tonight though.
Yeah, well, Shindjuu's had his moments in this round, but I think Edwards is another round where he's just outworked him. Just pushed that little bit harder, especially in the first couple of minutes. Good head movement again. Putting a little bit more thought into what he's doing, which is encouraging.
Might have pinched this one, Chris Edwards. I suppose a question mark is what Shindjuu's got over the second half of this fight, if he can keep strong.
Round 6.
Vacant Commonwealth 8-stone title on the line here. The red and black of Chris Edwards, former champion, former holder of this belt. Up with Abmerk Shindjuu, who's given a good account of himself on his first venture out of Africa, former Namibian champion, who's just celebrated 3 years as a professional and wants this belt.
See, that's good stuff from Edwards when he thinks what he's doing, just drawing the leads, just staying out of range, slipping, sliding, then getting the punches off as opposed to just charging forward. Good head movement again there, that's better.
Good hooks from Chris Edwards, the come-forward aggression, what the fans here love to see. He seems to go up a level when he fights in Stoke too. He was terrific against Usman Ahmed here last year, from start to finish, just did not stop.
Showing a bit more technique in this round. There he is, slipping the leads again, thinking what he's doing, not just charging forward. This is good stuff from him.
Yeah, neat work from Edwards. Can Shindjuu respond? Less coming now from the Namibian.
See, I wonder if he's ever been made to work at this pace before. Probably not. Not the same snap in Shindjuu's counters at the moment, although there's nothing wrong with that right hand.
Just once in a while, one of those gets through clean, and there's a bit of power in there too. It's quite surprising he's only got 2 knockouts on the record, Shindjuu. Maybe he's been matched very hard in Africa.
Yeah, well, he certainly punches properly when he gets the time to do that. Well, he's been kept occupied again for the first 2 minutes of this round, and Edwards still has the upper hand at the moment.
Lost twice, Shindjuu, but both on points. 1 over 10 rounds for the Namibian title.
Edwards dropping the quality in his punching again in the last half minute of this round. His work was good early. Maybe just tiring a little bit. Put a lot into this.
Well, Shindjuu still pot-shotting, but getting some clean work off. Finding holes in Edwards as he comes through. But maybe he needs to do more than that, because Edwards dominating these rounds.
Yeah, that's better. When Edwards just thinks about the punches coming his way, slips under, then comes back with the counters. Good round for Edwards.
Second round, round 7.
Second half, as always, action-packed in a Chris Edwards fight. Been in some really good ones. Remember that draw he had with Dale Robinson? What a cracker. Then with Abmerk Shindjuu from Namibia for this Commonwealth 8-stone title, who's been buoyant himself and has shown us some sharp punching, good hooks, but he's down on your card, Shindjuu.
Yeah, they've only given him 1 round so far, and he's looking for some space. I think he's trying to box on the move in this round. Not easy against Edwards when he's fired up like this.
Tries to whistle an uppercut in on the advancing Edwards. Right tactics against the smaller man. Shindjuu was light at 7, 11, 10 on the scales, well inside the 8-stone limit. How strong will he be down the stretch?
Well, they're still meeting his punches. He's just not finding the target at the moment, and I don't expect he's ever been forced to fight at this kind of pace before. This is tough for him.
And dispiriting, isn't it? Sort of round after round of these attacks.
Yeah, and then maybe a little dip in the quality of Edwards' work again. He just thinks what he's doing, some head movements, a little feints before he throws the shots. But the main thing is he's not allowing Shindjuu to do much.
It's better defence from Edwards. That trouble in the 4th round towards the end. He seemed just to be falling apart. But he's bounced back, as so often he's done, Chris Edwards.
And he's forced Shindjuu to work every second of every round so far. And I think it's beginning to get to Shindjuu. He'd like just to give himself a little breather, find himself a bit of space. But nowhere to be found.
No time for breathers in Chris Edwards' fight, non-stop, unless you can hurt him. So fit, and a real example of good, hard work, sometimes conquering lack of skills. Just made the best of himself, hasn't he, Edwards?
Yeah, well, you know, he doesn't kid himself on. He knows what he's got. He knows he's not been blessed with wonderful skills, but he's got fitness, determination, will to win. And every time we see him, he gives it everything.
Have a good reign, Chris. Well done, buddy. That's it.
It's a prestigious spell, the Commonwealth Flyweight Championship. Over the years, great names, Rinty Monaghan, who knocked out Jackie Patterson. And Dai Dowie also won the European belt, the Welshman in the 50s. Walter McGowan, one of our best stylists, went on to win the WBC title for Scotland. Francis Ampo for the pocket battleship, he was always good to watch, wasn't he? A.D. Lewis, tiny, 4'10½", but a mighty atom in the ring. And Jason Booth, well, he held this belt 1999 to 2003. and is still going strong as the British and Commonwealth Super Bantamweight champion. Amazing tail boot. Edwards' story is pretty good as well.
Yeah, well, Ed was an inspiration to everybody in the game. Just don't give up, put in the work, learn the job, and things can turn in your favour, and that's what's happened.
5 rounds to go in yet another championship fight for Chris Edwards, from a 2-weight holder in the 8-stone division and up at 8 stone 3. A win over Jamie McDonald got him the inaugural belt. McDonald's got on to good things. British bantamweight champion currently, and about to go out to fight for a European belt in France. So that's good form from Edwards.
Well, Shindjuu trying to come forward. I think he realises something has to change, so he's trying to drive Edwards back. If you can do that, you take away a lot of his attributes. So we'll see if he can manage that. Giving it a go.
Is he fit enough and is he experienced enough over 12 rounds to carry out those tactics? He catches Edwards from time to time. That'll give him confidence.
Well, these are decent punches he's catching Edwards with. Edwards is looking to hold for a second up close there.
Good right hand from Edwards, just stopping the flow of Shindjuu. Every time you think he's going to get a bit of confidence together, the Namibian, Edwards takes it away again.
I mean, he is a nightmare, because he just never stops coming, doesn't give you a second to get your thoughts together, or your boxing together. But Shindjuu's done a little bit better in this round. He's held his ground a bit more. Good body shot, another one.
Yep, for the first time, really. Trying to work that body of Chris Edwards, slow him down. Sensible from Shindjuu. This is a really good effort, a long way from home from the African.
Well, you could see the change in attitude at the beginning of this round. He tried to claim the centre of the ring, push Edwards back. I mean, his corner must tell him if you can push him back, you'll take away most of his attributes. That's what he's tried to do here. This has been a good round, good action. A little turn towards Shindjuu here.
Yeah, good work from Shindjuu. It's more ragged from Edwards, not as clean. And a right hand stops Edwards in his tracks. That's what he's got to do, Shindjuu, if he's going to take this title.
But you just wonder, the fact that we know Edwards can fight at this pace for the 12. Just wonder, is it this big round or this big effort from Shindjuu? Is it going to empty the tank? No signs at the moment, still seems to be looking strong and fit.
Good round from Shindjuu. Chris Edwards, the former British flyweight champion. Let's hear the views of another one, Mickey Campbell's with Ed Robinson.
Well, Mickey, how are you reading the fight so far?
Well, to be honest, it's turning into a real brawl now. Chris Edwards started off like a train, was trying to, you know, slightly in control, but the visitor, you know, he's not giving him much space to work. And I think that last round, I think the tide could be turning. Edwards got to be very careful because he's thrown a lot into the first, obviously, half of the fight. Looks like he's tiring last couple of rounds. It's turning into a really grueling fight.
How do you see it panning out from here?
I think if he, carries on, he can maybe win it on points. But the other guy, and I'll tell you, he's not finished. In that round, he hurt Edwards with a couple of good shots. And you used to see he's trying to, create that bit of space for himself, where Edwards is just rushing everything. And I think Chris has just got to take his time.
Thanks, Mickey.
One of the nicest guys in the business, Mickey Campbell, who once shared a ring with the great baby Jake Matt Lala, of course. He thinks it could be turning, Jim.
Yeah, well, Shindjuu certainly left it a little bit late, but we'll see. I mean, OK, there was a change in the plot, but I think that might have taken a little bit out of Shindjuu. We'll see if he can sustain that and put 2 good rounds together. Good right hand from him there.
Started off sharply, the 9th, Shindjuu, and he's advancing forward. Just lost some momentum, Chris Edwards. Doesn't want to be on the back foot.
But this is a time when Edwards can use that evasive boxing, move from side to side, make this fellow miss, and then come back with counters, as opposed to just being in his face all the while. But certainly he doesn't have the initiative at the moment.
Or the head movement either, to get out of the way of some of these right hands. Edwards' own work hitting arms and gloves. And Shindjuu finding the quality punches and the timing. And he still looks purposeful, doesn't he, Shindjuu?
Yep, and he's still trying to claim the centre of the ring.
Bit of a mark just above the left eye of Chris Edwards. It's beginning to get busted up.
A fair bit of missing from both men in this round. A sign of their tiredness, because it really has been a pace all the way through.
Edwards has always set the electric pace, but there's a dip from him, and we don't often see that. How much is left in the tank of Chris Edwards?
See, Shindjuu's keeping him in the range he wants him at the moment. Edwards has been too close in most of the earlier rounds. Finding the space now, Shindjuu, but this is another tough round.
Lefts and rights to the head. Edwards struggling with those shots.
A good jab to it from Shindjuu. Yep, still really fancies the job. Really come back into this well.
It's a real drive, this, from Abmerk Shindjuu. Bloodied around the face now, Chris Edwards. He's lost his stranglehold. These last couple of rounds where he's been missing, Edwards might have taken some of the puff out of him.
Well, little sign at the end of the round here that Shindjuu has used up a lot of steam. We'll see if the 60-second rest. Well, that was another good round from him.
Vital last 9 minutes. Did Edwards just switch off in the 9th? Will he bounce back? Was he just conserving some energy? You've got him 3 up with 3 to go. Unofficial, of course.
Yeah, well, one big round from him would have put it beyond doubt on my card. And I just wonder if Shindjuu, can he keep this going? Big drive in both of the previous rounds. He's missing at the moment. Good stuff from Edwards.
Edwards trying to stay close, get those body shots in, but a right hand from Shindjuu. The speed and these long, raking punches troubling Edwards. Shindjuu knows he's the away fighter. He's either got to get a knockout, you'd have thought, or win it big to get the Commonwealth title. Edwards digging in. Good round and a lovely left hook from Chris Edwards. Crowd rally behind him.
Yeah, he's digging in well, Edwards. I mean, this is tough. But if he can just dig in, just get another round in the bank, maybe give himself a little bit of a cushion here, because this is only going to get tougher. Shindjuu still looking strong, not in the slightest discouraged. But Edwards responding well in this round.
Turns 34 in May, Chris Edwards. It's been a long and a tough and a hard road that he's travelled. Still he wants it, still the desire's there. Body shots now from Shindjuu, looking hurtful, and Edwards just staggered. Another one. It's getting tough for Chris Edwards in there now.
Yeah, gasping for breath there as he pulled away. I think the nosebleed's giving him problems with his breathing. Yeah, Shindjuu certainly finishing the round better. Edwards had the upper hand in the earlier part. All he can do now is dig in. This is the way he does business. He can't change what he does, can't change tactics. Another tough round.
Yeah, just trying to pump the punches home, but he's wary, Chris Edwards. And he's a much easier target now for Shindjuu.
He's really coming back well at Shindjuu. Took some hurtful punches in that little exchange there. Tremendous round, this one. Terrific.
And the fact he hasn't thrown many body shots, Shindjuu, in the first part. He is now, and they're hurting Edwards.
Rinse that, Darcy.
Right, give me a rinse.
Rinse that.
Hold still, Chris.
Listen to that.
Hold still.
Listen, you've got to dig in now. Yeah, he's a tough kid. It's round 11, we've got 2 left. Do you want this? Yeah. 2 rounds, yeah?
If you win these 2, you won it, so you've got to win them, Chris.
Don't get, you've got to get your
whatever he does,
it is getting rough and tough in there.
Well, nothing that Edwards does seems to discourage this fellow. It just keeps coming, keeps digging in, and he's certainly the bigger puncher of the two. Edwards is tiring, the nosebleed is giving him problems.
Come on, mate, 6 minutes.
Look how many punches thrown by both of them, particularly Edwards. Over 1,100 so far. Terrific effort in this Commonwealth Flyweight title fight. It's another good one. Lovely clash of styles. These two want this belt. Chris Edwards, Abmerk Shindjuu. Bags of commitment from the pair. Edwards been on top for large parts with work rate, but being caught more regularly as the rounds tick on. Shindjuu will not go away.
And he's got himself in tremendous shape. I thought he might have struggled with the pace. Just been warned for low punching. The referees had nothing to do in this one at all.
Want to keep it together, Chris Edwards. Bank on all that experience he's had over the years. I mean, Shindjuu has never been beyond 10 rounds, but still physically looks fine.
Sees in the last word in the exchanges, which is dangerous. That's the sign that he has that little bit more in the tank than Edwards does.
When we talk about Chris Edwards' rocky story, but Abmerk Shindjuu might have had it very hard in Namibia. And his desire coming right through, winging in the punches.
Yeah, and a better quality than Shindjuu's punching at the moment.
More exciting fight too than his one with Shini Bayar, who's got that awkward southpaw style.
But you have to hand it to Edwards. Just whatever's to be done, he's prepared to do it. And he's taken some real solid punches in this round. But undeterred, just keeps coming forward, taking the initiative back again. This is a tremendous effort from him.
Yeah, tonight he's been very courageous too, because he has shipped a great deal, Chris Edwards, more than usual. And still the engine ticks on.
I mean, you wonder if it's a little bit discouraging for Shindjuu. He caught with some real good shots in the first minute of this round. But here he is, just in his face at every opportunity. Doesn't stop coming forward.
Edwards showing this mental and physical toughness, this grit. Shindjuu must be feeling the pace too.
Well, certainly the better quality punching in this round has come from Shindjuu. But tremendous effort from both men.
Close session, the 11th.
All right, mate, sit down. Have a good drink.
Don't say all that, give it to you.
Hold still, I've got to do this cut.
Okay,
have another rinse, another rinse.
Buck it up. Right.
You've got to win this round.
Yeah, you've got to win this round.
You've got to win this round, Chris. It's tight.
Loads and loads of shots. He's going to come out like something gone mad. Get your hands back to your chin.
Yeah. Last round, this guy, they want to make
Looks the fresher face, doesn't he? Abmerk Shindjuu.
Yeah, and it still has more meat in the punches than Edwards
You heard
does.
that word, champ.
So he's really feeling this tough. I think the nosebleed has been a problem to his breathing.
Seconds out for the 12th and last round.
Really tough battle for both of these guys.
Chris Edwards raises his arms, might need the crowd to help him home here. The last 3 minutes. People at ringside have got this very close. Most have got Edwards just in front, as you have.
Yeah, I think the start Edwards got, I think Shindjuu just a bit too late in getting into this. He certainly tightened things up, and what a battle he's made of it. But Edwards had a tremendous start.
These flyweights have been dishing out battle after battle over the last 2 or 3 years. Great efforts, energy, work rate, commitment. And if Edwards does take the title, he can look forward to good matches with the likes of Shinny Barr and Ashley Sexton and Paul Edwards, and how we'd love to see them.
I mean, this is incredible action. They just have not stopped throwing punches. And here we are in the 12th round. No dip in the pace, still going at it, hell for leather.
And what's been impressive about Edwards is that there have been dips, peaks and troughs through this 12-rounder, but he's still there and he's still firing.
And still giving it everything he has. And they both must be desperately tired. But again, Edwards just prepared to push himself, do everything that's necessary.
Terrific challenge from Abmerk Shindjuu, who's had his moments. He must think, what else can I do? Not the biggest puncher, and maybe that's why Edwards wasn't taken out in the 2 or 3 bad spells he really had. But he's endured them, and he's right in the middle, toe-to-toe, as we enter the last 45 seconds.
Yeah, both missing a fair bit, as you would expect at this stage in such a gruelling battle. But it's been a great little battle, just non-stop from start to finish.
Even now, body shots landing from Chris Edwards. He's been excellent in that department tonight. Not bad headshots from Shindjuu, who's been good there. Wonderful battle. Grueling, intense. It's had everything, Jim.
And a tremendous last round too. I mean, it's so difficult to split them here. It's just been nip and tuck every second of the last round. Tremendous finish to a tremendous battle.
Uppercut from Shindjuu might catch the eye late on. He raises his arm, so does Chris Edwards, whose aggression, determination and persistence might have impressed judges John Keane, who was in front of us, Victor Loughlin and Terry O'Connor. Have a look at that statistic. Both fighters over 12 rounds threw over 1,000 each. Can't remember when we last saw that, Jim.
Yeah, tremendous battle, non-stop. We could almost have done it without a referee. You know, okay, a little bit of damage you can see with heads coming together on Edwards, but that was a tremendous battle. And I think he's done enough to pick up the title here. And it's the start he got. I just think he was tremendous in the early stages. I don't think Shindjuu had ever been asked to box at this pace or at this level, and he struggled a little bit. It took him a little while to get into the fight. Edwards really firing in the first third of the fight. You could always see the danger that Shindjuu had with the clean punches, but the body shots he was taking and just the work rate, the sheer work rate of Chris Edwards. By the halfway stage, you could see Shindjuu starting to get back into things. He was finding himself a little bit of room, getting the longer punches off, getting a bit more purchase into his punches, but every punch he threw, Edwards was right back in his face again. 9th round, tough round for Edwards. 10th round, the same, but again, he showed his character, dug in. Tremendous battle again, and full credit to Shindjuu. boxing away from home, everything against him. Gave it every last ounce that he had. In the last round, you couldn't split them, but I feel over the 12 rounds, Edwards deserves to be champion.
Terrific match. Respect between the pair. How have the judges got it?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of championship boxing, all three judges score the contest 115 to 114. Your winner by way of unanimous decision and the new flyweight champion of the Commonwealth from Stoke, Chris Edwards.
Chris Edwards regains his Commonwealth title after a terrific little fight with a very worthy challenger, and the fans here go wild.
I was fit and everything, but I didn't know nothing about this kid who was fighting, so yeah, he was a tough lad, he was strong, he kept coming forward, but I knew he was going to be a lot hard, but yeah, I'm glad we could get my title back and hopefully move on from here.
Did Shindjuu hurt you, especially in the last few rounds?
No, not really. It never bothered me. If anything, it was just pushing me back, really. He was a tough and strong kid, but none of his shots ever bothered me. I've got a strong chin and stuff like that, I think. So yeah, I just kept coming back and throwing shots after he was throwing his, so yeah.
He threw so many shots. Was all-out aggression the right kind of tactics?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because he was talking and he got long arms and stuff like that, so I think I was just like trying to outwork him and stuff like that and get an high work rate and hopefully win like that.
So what's next? Do you want to rest, or are you looking for Shinny Bayar, who took your British title?
Yeah, if Shinny came along, then yeah, of course I'd like to have a rematch with him, if he'd accept it, and move on from there, but I'll have a promoters to see what happens after this, yeah.